I'm going to show you today a traditional Swedish home, the colors that they paint them, like why they do certain things, and how you would have a traditional Swedish home. So if you're interested in that, take 3 and follow me. We are standing right outside a home here in Sandviken, Sweden, and this is, as you can see, a very traditional home. You can see the red, which is called Falun red, and Falun, it's a city in the district of Dalarna. It's the calcination from the copper mine, and that's where they get that beautiful red. It's a very inexpensive paint, and most of the traditional farm type homes here in Sweden use this red. And one of the reasons they love it is because, for example, one, it's cheap, much cheaper than regular paint, and 2, you could paint, for example, this side of the house this year, and next year you could paint the next side of the house, and the colors would still match. You wouldn't see that looks new and that looks old. It just blends.
Falun Mine, or Falugruva in Swedish, was a mine in Falun, Sweden that operated for a millennium from the 10th century to 1992. It produced as much as 2/3 of Europe's copper needs and helped fund many of Sweden's wars in the 17th century. Technological developments at the mine had a profound influence on mining globally for 2 centuries. The mine is now a museum and in 2001 was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Now follow me over to the apple tree. One of the things that you get in Sweden that is delicious, apples. In the winter, if you leave these and they begin to ferment in the deep winter, the deer come and eat them, and then they get drunk. That's a fun fact. So now, just like Matt Damon says, what do you think about them apples?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you more about the way the houses here in Sweden are made. Pretty much all of them have basements, and the basement is kind of creepy. You can see there's the entrance. You have a bunch of rooms and everything like that in here. Work rooms and things like that, but it's just they're all compartmentalized. This room that I'm going to show you in here, since I think everybody used to store, or they would, make sure that they had extra stuff for winter. In here, this is the room, I think, where they had all of their, preserves and things like that they, in all these little cupboards. I don't know, it's like pretty strange. And so you never know, what's happening with the, and then there's another really creepy room that's kind of in here that as you come in.
Rule number 1 when you're in Sweden: shoes off. You either walk barefooted with socks or you bring out your house shoes, but don't ever walk with your shoes on.
So what are you showing us tonight?
I am showing you the Swedish bed. Now, in the US, we have a big comforter that covers both partners. In Sweden, they have 2 comforters, 2 twin size ones, and they're folded very neatly, kind of like an envelope. That's how they basically, I feel like they do it. So basically, this is what they do. And I'm going to undo the bed now so that you can see this. You see this? It's folded on both sides like that, because basically the idea is that you're going to slip in kind of like in a little envelope. I'm going to show you a traditional kid house here in Sweden. In the US, we have the ones that are made out of plastic. But look how cute. It's also painted in the Falu red. And look at this. Isn't this adorable? Cute little deck. Everything just like a little house. With the curtains. The whole 9 yards. Isn't that adorable?
That is adorable. In Sweden, they sell you a big block of cheese normally, and you have a whole lot of different kinds of cheeses, but they sell them to you in a big block like this. So a very important thing that you gotta have is this, the cheese slicer, or they call it in Swedish an osthyvel. So they have several different kinds, but you know, you have some of these plastic ones like this, but the stainless steel one like this, that's all stainless steel, that's the best kind. You can throw it in the washer, it stays sharper for some reason, and the best place to buy it is IKEA, believe it or not. We own several. Most Swedish homes over here, you'll see 5, 6, 7 of them. We used to have that many, and our kids love them so much that they have borrowed them and never brought them back. And so you just use that, slice your cheese in nice slices. You can slice them thick, thin, whatever, but one of the most iconic things, most important things that you'll see in a Swedish kitchen, the osthyvel.
Carl Larsson was a prolific Swedish artist whose works have inspired and influenced Scandinavian interior design for more than 100 years. In 1899, he published a book called Et Hem. His drawings in this book depicted idyllic family life in the Swedish home. These paintings repeatedly detailed the traditional window with short curtains that were draped from above, with window sills adorned with plants and a lamp of some kind to light the window in the dim evening of the day. Today, 120 years later, you can still see that design in the majority of Sweden's homes, no matter where you go in the country. You can also visit the home of Carl Larsson, which is now a museum in Sundborn, Sweden, which is in the province of Dalarna. If you can't make the trip to northern Sweden, there are many of his works in the National Museum, which is located in Stockholm, Sweden.
What we want to show you is a typical dinner ambiance setting for people at home. Now, you might be thinking that this looks like it's a nice romantic dinner for two,
Yes.
and that we're just,
And that we're gonna eat on this side, and then we're gonna move over to the next side. The first times that we went to our Swedish friends' homes, and they had it like these, it was kind of annoying for us because it was like, we need the light. Like,
now we're
where's the
sitting here.
light?
Who's proposing tonight?
Yeah, like what's going on?
What's the special occasion?
But
This is what they like. They
what
like nice dark lights where it just kind of feels like it's got warmth with the lighting that's in here, but not super bright like you're on stage or something like
Right.
that.
And now it obviously it has grown on us, and it does create a very nice ambiance.
Yeah,
and
we've come to appreciate it. quite a
we
bit.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, as if you notice, this light is not on. That normally wouldn't be on. None of the ceiling lights. Only like lamps
Yeah.
and candles. Candles are big in Sweden.
And this is the way when you invite people over. This is the way you normally light it. Because when we got here,
When we got here, we of course started inviting the people that we met, the Swedes, and they would just hint like, "Oh wow, it's bright in here."
because we would light everything.
Every light was
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Because that's what we would do back at home, and especially like in the winter for us, having light when it's dark out there so early, it was really important. We needed that light.
Yeah, for real.
And so then this setup of Mysig, which is their cozy,
We'll spell that for you in the
Yeah.
comments so you can see.
they, my God, it was just like, okay, this is like a romantic dinner. This is not like for friends.
And candles really warm up the room too.
Yeah,
We
they
never
do.
knew that. I guess,
Yeah.
you know, if you knew that, you're from some place that where you use candles a lot. But wow, we never realized
Yeah.
how much it will warm up a room.
It does. If you're ever invited to a Swedish home, you may see the setup. All right,
And what you might also see too is what we're going to eat tonight.
that's true.
Tell them about that.
This is skagenröra, which is shrimp, and I think that they also put some kind of caviar in there with like mayo cream, dill, and it's always served on toast. If you're interested in learning how to make it, leave a comment, and we may think about doing a video and teach you guys how to make it. It's very delicious.
Real nice. Little lemon
Yeah.
on top, and it's
Delish.
quite nice.
Yes.